Hey everyone, welcome back. This is the fifth time I've recorded this video, so hopefully it goes well this time. Um, because for some reason YouTube doesn't want me to review this movie. So, anyways, I'm finally getting around to viewing this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece of work. So, let's get started. Um, I'm gonna tell you my thoughts with positives and negatives. There are more positives than there are negatives. The first negative, the acting wasn't all that great. The guy who played Dylan was alright, and Kelly Jensen, who played Angie, was alright. Jessica Hall was alright. And the guy who played Mr. Jingles was alright too. But that's a negative for the rest of the people in the cast. They did not do a good job. The second thing, it takes forever for Mr. Jingles to start killing people again. Um, 3. Um, the movie did drag. So it goes along with the number 3. Number 2, I mean. Number 4. The kills weren't all that imaginative. They were good, don't get me wrong. It's just with a killer clown movie, the thing about it is you have to be kind of imaginative. Especially when you're dealing with a demon clown or ghost clown, because you can cause a lot of havoc with a killer clown. They joke, they perform tricks like, if you remember in Killer Clowns from Outer Space, when he blows that thing that's supposed to go, it ends up grabbing Officer Mooney. Well, do something like that. Well, not exactly like that, but be imaginative. This is still a good movie. It's just got a lot of flaws. But now for the positives. I did enjoy Mr. Jingles, the character. I thought he was a really cool villain and he deserves more respect. Um, there are far worse movies out there than Mr. Jingles. I understand people's gripes with the movie, but some people have said it's the worst movie of all time. Obviously, you've never seen Sick. And for the people who have seen Sick, say this is worse than it. Not in my eyes. I think Sick is horrible, and apparently this is supposed to be a sequel. Uh, Thankfully, they changed the name, otherwise, I wouldn't have picked it up. I saw Sick after I saw this, though. Um, how I was introduced to this, I was searching Killer Clown videos, and I came across the one that said the scariest killer clowns in film, and it showed it was a compilation video of different scenes from different killer clown movies, and one of them was it, and I started scrolling through the comments, and one said, one of the worst movies I've ever seen, but one of the funniest at the same time I've ever seen was Mr. Jingles. And I was like, Mr. Jingles? Never heard of it. I better look it up. So I looked it up, watched it on YouTube, and I was really impressed. Like, like I said, there are far worse movies out there. I think Sick is the worst movie of all time. I know I'm sounding like a fanboy about Killer Clowns, but Sick was just a horrible movie. Cool cover though, I will admit that. Twisted Metal Black cover, I appreciate that. It was horrible. And maybe I'm gonna wring somebody's neck, the director's neck. But I can't do that because it's illegal. So, anyways, what can you do? So, Mr. Jingles, the positives. Um, the gore. The gore was really good. Everybody says the gore looked cheap. It's an independent film, man. Yeah, there are independent films that have better effects, like Evil Dead. How can you go wrong with Evil Dead? Everybody's almost everybody says that's a funny movie. I find nothing funny about that movie. It's a fantastic horror film. I found it to be very scary but very cool at the same time. So, budget doesn't always mean you can have bad effects or good effects. It matters on how it's done and who's doing it. So, the gore is pretty good. I liked it. Um, the design of Mr. Jingles I thought was excellent. I've never seen a killer clown look like that other than Pennywise, who's got a bigger mouth with bigger teeth and a big red nose, like this. That cover is very misleading, but Horror Squad likes the cover, so I might print him off a picture and give him some props on it, like say, here's to my killer clown buddy from beyond the grave, uh, Psychopath1 out. So, anyways, it starts off with this really cheaply done death scenes. A woman gets her intestines cut out, and I said there were more negatives than positives. Damn it. There are there are two negatives. I mean, two positives, but four negatives. But I do like the movie regardless. Oh, and I forgot. The guy who played the stranger in this movie played Mr. Jingles in Jingles the Clown. So that's number 3 for the good positives. I guess you can consider this a positive too. Titties. You do get to see some titties. 2 scenes. Yeah. Now, horror movies don't need tits, but it's a bonus for a low budget film. They say that tits are the cheapest effect. John Landis said that. But a woman gets her guts cut out, but you can totally tell her stomach is perfectly fine. She just threw guts on the floor. And then a guy gets his head caved in with 2 axes. Now, he doesn't really get it caved in, he just gets axes put into his skull. But you don't see the impact, you just see blood pouring down his face. And then the little girl, the girl's name is Angie, played by Kelly Jensen. She ends up hiding in the closet, and you get this stupid line where Mr. Jingle says, you need to be punished for making tinkle in your panties. And I'm like, what? That's a terrible line. Couldn't you have said something more like, you're gonna die tonight, bitch? Yeah, it's a cheesy line, but it's better than tinkle in your panties. Come on now. And then he ends up going like, Angie, Angie, if you heard your daddy squealing like a piggy, that's because I shoved this axe handle up his ass. And I love Jingle's laugh, and I thought that line was pretty good. So, we fast forward, how Jingles gets killed. A cop ends up coming in, shooting him with a pop gun, and that kills Jingles. I know it's supposed to be a pistol for the movie, but it's a fucking pop gun. You can totally tell by the sound effect. So Jingles just falls to the ground dead, and his mouth is moving, giving out a chant so that he can live forever as a ghost. So yeah, and what happens is uh, Jingles. It takes forever and a day for him to return, so be prepared to be bored out of your mind for a little bit. Kelly Jensen plays Angie. She played in the show Nash Bridges, so she's pretty much the only known star out of this whole movie. Uh, so yeah, and we get introduced to adult Angie, and she is getting out of the mental institution, so she's in therapy. And her aunt picks her up. She's gonna live with her aunt and cousins. Uh, the cousins are played by Nathaniel Ketchum, who plays Dylan, and played by Jessica Hall, who plays Heidi. And they weren't too bad of an actors. I liked them. So, anyways, you pretty much get time-consuming scenes, and Heidi is planning a birthday party for Angie because apparently it's her birthday. Wow, getting out on your birthday. Cool. 19th birthday, 6 years later, so yeah. 7 years later, sorry. Um, so, anyways, they're planning the party, and Dylan and his friends, uh, Melanie, uh, Curtis, and I forget the other guy's name. They're planning on scaring Angie with Melanie dressing up as Mr. Jingles. Melanie is uh, Nathaniel Ketchum's girlfriend in the movie, and she is an alright actor. Heather Doba played her, um, and they're in the graveyard. I'm trying to go as fast as I can without ruining the movie, but I gotta get past the boring stuff. So, anyways, they're in the graveyard, and Heather's dad, the guy who, not Heather, Melanie's dad, is talking to the stranger, played by John Anton, and the mayor, played by Michael, I forget his last name, played by Michael something, and they're talking about Mr. Jingles returning from the grave, and the mayor doesn't believe it, and neither does the cop, Melanie's dad. So, anyways, they're laying down, laying low, trying to hide from the people. And when they go away, uh, Curtis and the other guy end up going of the out from hiding, and they go and they take shovels, and what they're gonna do, I think, I think they're going to use Jingle's dead body to also scare Angie. So yeah, pretty stupid plan, but you gotta keep the film rolling. You gotta have some other plot other than slashing people and killing people, all that fun stuff. So, anyways, uh, I'm gonna fast forward to the kills now. The first kill, you see this caretaker minding his own business, and then he puts his hand on a tree, gets his hand cut off. Could be a very good effect, but it's just pumping up blood. Again, could be a good effect, but it's done poorly. And this, he ends up screaming like he goes like, ah, 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 like just what? And then when Jingles puts the axe repeatedly into his stomach, you can hear the director saying, higher, higher, like putting the axe higher. So anyways, the caretaker ends up going like, ah. Sorry, I can't scream, I got a very bad throat. Ah, ah, ah. And then it cuts to a different scene. Uh, uh, Heidi and Angie. Angie is introduced to Heidi's friends and all that boring shit. They're talking about boys and whatever. I don't give a shit. So, more filler. They're trying to keep this film within the 80-minute film to make 80-minute proximity to make it feel like a real film. It could have been a short film, but hey, it works in some ways as a real film, but in other ways it doesn't. You can tell they were going for broke with this movie. So, anyways, we cut to Angie dreaming about Mr. Jingles. Ooh, kind of like Freddy Krueger. So, anyways, Angie ends up screaming, and then uh, Heidi is in the shower, and here's where you get your first scene of boobs. Heidi is turning on the water, and you just look at the shower head for a good 45 seconds. And I'm like, what the fuck are we looking at a shower head for? And then it cuts to the mirror, and Heidi is just fixing up her hair and singing and whatnot, and then she hears Angie scream, and then she puts a towel over herself, and then goes to see Angie, see what's wrong, and then it cuts to another scene where the stranger and Melanie's dad are talking about Mr. Jingles some more, how he was an innocent man who was incarcerated for a crime he didn't commit, aka innocent man. So he was sent to an insane asylum, and there he studied black magic, and he escaped and started going on a killing spree, killing the people who locked him up. And that's where you get the beginning of the movie. And then all of a sudden, Mr. Jingles comes in, and this is when the movie gets good. He shoves his hand through the stranger's stomach and does this. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I like to see. And then it cuts to the party, and the party is nothing much. It looks more like it's just a meeting of teenagers. It doesn't look like a party of teenagers. And then you got a sex scene. Yes. More sex, more nudity, more blood. That's a pattern I see with low budget horror films. It works sometimes, then it doesn't work. This one works and doesn't work at the same time. There's no nudity in this sex scene. And I might as well rewind back a couple of minutes. You see Heather Doba's tits too. Yeah, you see them. But anyways, back on topic. Enough talking about titties. Anyways, what happens next is these two people are having sex, and the girl is laying down. The guy's going downtown on her, and Jingles is like, shh, and puts an axe into her head. You don't see it go in again. And then the guy is licking her stomach and everything, and then the blood ends up flowing down, and he goes like, what the fuck? And Mr. Jingle says this great line, ah, baby, don't stop, we're almost there. you should stay out of the pool because he pissed his pants. So that was kind of funny. Cuts the dude's head off, and it's a great scene. It really is. Like when his head falls down, it looks like the actual actor. I appreciate that. So, anyways, then we get to just the massacre scene, which isn't really all that big, anyways, but it works. Jingles ends up coming out, killing people left and right. He kills Heidi in the backyard and Heidi's boyfriend. And Mr. Jingles ends up standing them up like mannequins, and he's like, ta-da! And yeah, I know this sounds stupid, but come on, man. You gotta leave your brain at the door for this movie. It's a fun movie, man. So, anyways, sorry I'm saying anyways a lot, but yeah. Angie and Heidi's friend are in the basement talking about her the life she had when she was institutionalized, and she's talking about Mr. Jingles as well. And Mr. Jingles, while he's causing all this chaos, the girls can't hear people yelling. And then we get my favorite death, Nathaniel Ketchum's death. Mr. Jingles jumps on the guy's back repeatedly, and he goes like, ah! Sorry, I can't do the laugh anymore, but he keeps on laughing while he's jumping on the dude's back, and he's like, nice distance, let me try again. And blood starts coming out of the guy's mouth repeatedly. And then, first he cuts Dylan's legs, and then Dylan's like, Angie, help! And Angie hears that, and Angie throws a candle, I think, out the window, and Jingles is like, there's my girl. And yeah, this film is just fun. I had a fun time with it, even though it's cheaply made. That just adds to the charm of it. This is not the worst film ever made. I don't see that. I see it as just a fun, independent movie that you can both laugh at and have a good time with. The gore was decent. The actor who played Mr. Jingles was cool. And the cover is pretty damn cool. So, what do I give Mr. Jingles by Lionsgate Films and Tommy Brunswick and Todd Brunswick? My Killer Clown fandom wants to give it a 9 out of 10, but as the average moviegoer, I'd give it about a 7 out of 10 because they went for broke with this movie. On the budget they had, which I forget, they did a good job with it. So I'm gonna give it about a 7 out of 10. Yeah. Definitely check this out. Horror Squad, I'm speaking to you, man. Check this movie out. If you love Killer Clown films, I think you'll enjoy this movie. And while you're at it, let's see if it's in here. Check this movie out. These movies have nothing in common with each other other than it's got Mr. Jingles in it, and it's got Angie in it. But this is like a reboot of Mr. Jingles, but done better. done way better. I like this one more than Mr. Jingles, even though it's uh, made with more technical issues, and the gore wasn't nearly as good, but it was fun. And when you go to a movie, you want to be entertained and you want to have fun. And I had fun with both of these movies. Like, isn't that what it's all about? Just having fun and being entertained? With a good story and good actors? No matter how bad you think the actors is, somebody's bound to disagree. So, yeah, check these movies out. You can get this one down at, if you live in Pennsylvania, there's a great place in Pennsylvania called Out of the Ordinary. You can get this for 16 bucks. I got my copy for 16 bucks. And if you have a video store in your area and you want to buy this movie, work out a deal and get this. It's a really good movie. So that's my review over Mr. Jingles. I now have the Jingles movies done and over with, and it definitely gets my seal of approval for badassery. Yes, I said it. So 7 out of 10. Great work, Tommy and Todd Brunswick. You have my support with all the other movies you do. I haven't seen a whole lot of movies from these two people, but they do one hell of a good job with the money they have. So, anyways, 7 out of 10 hatchets. Peace.